Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's episode is going to be about why silver might be a better purchase than gold. Yep, you'll see in this video, we'll explain. Ooh yeah. Why is silver considered a better investment during these times? Maybe it's not. We're going to discuss that. So go ahead, take a seat, and get ready to learn. Let's go. So if you guys haven't seen my last video on why you should invest in gold and silver before 2021, now is definitely a good time to go check that out. So please click on that before watching this. However, if you've made it through that video, you might be wondering, why would silver be a better investment than gold? And I think that there's a number of reasons, and I think both are a necessity in everyone's portfolio. If you guys remember, I said that I put about 15% of my net worth into these metals. So I'd love to diversify. I think diversification is the key, right? However, there are some instances where opportunities present themselves where maybe getting a little overweight in one is a better opportunity. So let's discuss a few reasons on why I think silver has the potential to outpace gold. Now, if we look at silver, it's had quite a volatile life, right? We see in 2008 through 11, silver reached all-time highs of nearly $50 an ounce, which is insane. Right now it's trading at about $24, give or take. The price of silver and gold always change, so remember that. So when I invest in precious metals, I like to definitely dive into the data and the analysis of everything and just to see which one makes more sense at the time to buy more of, or should I buy less of one. So that's what I like to do. And the first thing that I really notice about silver is that the gold to silver ratio is at its almost highest, right? We see that it takes a lot of silver right now to buy 1 ounce of gold. And typically this ratio, especially during times of financial turbulence or anxiety, tends to close down, meaning that I could actually buy an ounce of gold with less silver. So this number is super important, especially for me, because I see silver as a big potential. If that ratio were ever to close down and get lower, that means that my silver would be worth more, right? Because then I could have more purchasing power to go buy maybe some gold. So I think in the case that we really do see financial distress in America, which, I mean, if you haven't been looking around, it's kind of everywhere. But this leads me to believe that the more stimulus, the more debt that our country takes on, the more this gap is going to close. And I think that silver is one of those commodities where it's a necessity for a lot of the things we use, which is going to be my next reason why silver could outpace gold. Now, unlike gold, silver serves a lot more industrial uses, whereas gold is more for jewelry and other things. Some people even put it on their food, believe it or not. However, silver has numerous different roles that it plays in our lives. In fact, silver is considered to be one of the most conductive metals, which is why we use them in our computers and our phones and whatnot, which is why the demand is so high. Now, with the introduction of electric vehicles and solar panels and things like that, the demand for silver has never been higher. And that is why I think that we will see silver rush, where many of these manufacturers and things like that, they really use millions and millions of ounces of silver. So not only does silver serve a monetary purpose, however, now we see it becoming more industrialized, especially as technology is improving each and every year. So the last reason I think that silver is going to outperform gold is because silver is much more accessible. And I think that especially when I started investing in these precious metals, it was really kind of discouraging just to see how expensive gold was. Even though it's come down a little bit and I was lucky to just dollar cost average in, it's really been tough to get gold at a decent price, right? And which is why I think now is the best time to buy, if any, because we're starting to see that recovery. However, when we're talking about silver, I think that silver is much more accessible, right? Silver is beautiful. It's used in all these different technologies, but it is accessible to most people. And I think that a lot of people can definitely transfer their monetary dollars or their fiat currency into silver a lot easier than gold, right? Because 1 ounce of gold would look something like this. However, it is worth substantially more. than this silver piece here. And for a lot of people, that just isn't a lot. So I think with this new attraction to precious metals and trying to find safe havens, we'll see a lot more people end up picking up silver than gold. However, gold's not going to go anywhere, guys. I just think these are a couple of reasons why silver might have the potential to outpace gold, which is why right now I have about 60% silver, 40% gold. That's kind of how I like to allocate it right now until I can see, okay, silver's starting to catch up a little bit, and then maybe we start switching that strategy up. But for right now, I think that silver's got a good ways to go till we get back to hopefully around 50, where we saw it in the 2011 crisis. However, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a science teacher, so I don't know. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you guys can, please hit the subscribe and like button. It'd really mean a lot. I'm going to try to put out more content for you guys. But again, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.